Good evening, everybody. It is Monday night, 8 p.m., and that means it's the four horsemen of the Toon. Although at the minute, it's just the 3 degrees, as Barry is on daddy duty at the minute, just making sure the bairn is bathed and bed before he comes on, as his last was finishing late from work. So he will be on tonight. He will be on shortly. But as ever, we have Mr. Prowler, Mr. Sinclair. How are you doing, guys?
Very well, very well.
Very well.
Actually, he could himself. Good evening, Baz.
Evening.
Nice living room you had back there just for a second. Are you having broadband issues again, Baz, because you're all spongy?
I have looked into my broadband, and apparently I've been getting screwed for the past 24 months. I only get 3 megabytes of download speed.
3 megabytes of download speed?
Yeah.
Jesus, man,
Should
you've
be getting
been absolutely...
27. So
my
I
God.
put an early termination in, and tomorrow I am looking for a broadband that works in my house.
Who's your broadband with now?
Sky.
Sky? I've just gone to Sky.
It just depends on your area. The proper screwed me without telling me. Apparently there's a green box that's close to you that you get put into that provides you your signal.
Yeah.
Apparently they put me on 1 mile away without telling me.
Oh, well, that was nice of them.
So
I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, we will start off with our fantastic club, Newcastle United. Obviously, I went down to Burton on Friday night. One of the longest away trips I've ever been on, to be honest. I could have gone to the Isle of Wight quicker, possibly. Traffic was absolutely horrendous. I think a few of you have seen my rage on YouTube in the car when Stephen decided to record me having a shout at the sat nav, etc. But Burton was a canny little ground. This is when I first went in. It did fill up for the game, and obviously the warm ups. And as you can see there, Joe Linton, John is there for you. There he is with his shorts pulled up, showing off his thunder thighs. But I'm sure you've seen plenty of them before, anyway. But it was all in all. I did a quick vlog on it, and then I did a recap on the game. It was, we scored after, very, very early on. Jacob Murphy's volley after Hayden had just sort of sliced the ball, but Murphy finished it beautifully. And then I thought we might have gone on and scored a few goals, but Steve Bruce being what it is, it was bless you there, John. It was. It was backwards passing, it was sideways passing, it wasn't really great to watch. We didn't really create many other chances. We had a few shots that ballooned over the bar and over the stand. It was pretty poor. Came out of the second half a lot more livelier. Joe Linton scored with a header from a corner on 46 minutes, which was a great header. And for about 15-20 minutes we did dominate and actually press them, which was nice to see. But again, then he made all the changes, and obviously the game just fizzled out after that. But it's not looking good, I have to say, for this season, unless things dramatically change in these next 2 weeks. Baz, you missed the show last week. What's your thoughts so far as it stands?
It's just an absolute shit show, unfortunately. We're putting all our eggs in the Willet basket. I have tweeted out tonight that apparently the club has said to Arsenal that if they haven't got an answer by Thursday morning, they're moving on to other targets.
Yeah.
So we'll wait and see. Apparently we're being offered a player from Real Madrid I've never heard of. Apparently a few people have bought him on Chat Manager and he's not too bad. So, get in. Played for Leon and scored 18 goals or something. Yeah,
we've apparently inquired about Aaron Ramsey as well and the availability of him. But I have to say that was my exact reaction to that as well. What the hell would Aaron Ramsey want to come to Newcastle United for is beyond a joke.
He's on
Peter,
400,000 a week at Juventus.
Exactly.
Week.
They're going to have to pay like 95% of his wages for us to even get him on loan or something. Peter, you were gallivanting on your merry trip to Berwick on Friday.
I was.
And obviously you put that on your channel. It was a great little vlog.
Was indeed.
But, obviously you would have been keen to know what the Newcastle score was on the Friday night. What did you think?
Well, I seen just what I seen from the highlights when they put that on their YouTube, and yeah, I totally agree with what you said. Well, scored early on, again, died down for the rest of the first half. In second half, yeah, we're dominated, but yeah, it's not looking good for the new season
It's-
so far, is it?
No, not at all. John, I know you've been quite vocal on social media about your feelings about Newcastle at the minute. So, what's your thoughts with 2 weeks left to the kick-off?
If I'm honest with you, I'll be very worried going into the new season. I mean, we've got about 6 or 7 players out before the new season, Callum Wilson included, and we got no creativity in the midfield. We haven't had that since Young Kabang. We haven't got no. If you lose Wilson, you've got Nero up front. I think our defense is slow. There's no pace in the team at all whatsoever, sort of thing. And now we've got 2 and a bit months to sort out, and they haven't done it.
Yeah.
And I can't go and I cannot. And I had people having a go at us and saying, I'm being too negative, I'm being too negative. Look at the bigger picture, man, right? We are not good enough. You take away Willock, we take away Wilson, then we'll be in big trouble.
I think at the moment we just have to forget about Willock, but we have to go with as is at the minute because we can't, this Willock thing is dragging on and on and on. And we can't keep talking about Joe Willock because he's not our player now. And until he is our player or something is in concrete that he's going to be our player, we just have to presume that he's not going to be a Newcastle United player at the start of the season. It's going to cripple us without a doubt because on Friday night, one thing I noticed was how static our team is. The only person that is running at defenders is Jacob Murphy. And he was absolutely outstanding on Friday night. His defensive coverage, moving forward, playing the ball, running at defenders, having shots, it was all there. And I think this guy could be one of our big players for this season. I genuinely think that. I've seen him in the highlights of the other friendlies, but obviously before that, I think his improvement has been dramatic and absolutely fantastic. But you're right what you said, John, about Callum Wilson. If we lose him, we've got nobody because Dwight Gale isn't the answer. He came on Friday night and may as well have been a shadow. He's just not good enough. He doesn't even look interested. I mean, I know he gives that persona off quite a lot of the time, but he just does not look like he gives a damn. There was lots of chanting for Ashley out. There was chanting for Bruce out. But one thing was that the Newcastle fans never stopped singing on Friday night, and those away days. I mean, Pete, you will well know. Mm-hmm. They're absolutely brilliant. You get to see everybody face to face. You have a good laugh. But when the football was on, I mean, that first half, guys, against Burton, these are a League One side. And we put a pretty strong side out again. And this was our 4th pre-season game of the build-up. So fitness in that, you can get lost with anybody saying, it's all about fitness, right? Because they should have gone out on Friday night and absolutely blew Burton out of the water. That side that we had out was good enough to do that. And I have to say, Joe Linton was very, very good as well on Friday night. First half, he made some brilliant runs. Obviously, he assisted on the first goal. He scored the second, and I thought he played really well. Now, one thing I did notice about Joe Linton was he is a big bloke. John, obviously, you'll know this, so we'll keep you. You don't need to comment on this. And I can't believe he's just agreed with us, but never mind. He's a unit. He really is a unit, and for me, he should be bossing defenders and anybody that tries to tackle him. He should be using his size to dominate defenders. So whether it's going to happen this season or not, but one thing I was really enjoying about watching Joe Linton on Friday night was he was running the channels. Now, I've never seen him do that before. He was actually coming deep and then turning around, sprinting down the channels. That's how the first goal came about. Ball played over the top and he was in. And that's what I want to see from Joe Linton. We're not used to seeing him making these runs, Baz.
I'll just say one thing about that. Graham Jones.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was back on Friday night, funny enough.
Yeah, I think Graham Jones could be the key to our survival this season if we are going to survive. Without him, we've seen what our first few preseason games were like. We couldn't score at York. We were terrible. Mm-hmm. We managed to win 1-0 in the next game. Can't remember who it was against, Rotherham or someone like that.
No, we drew. We beat Doncaster and drew with Rotherham.
1-1, wasn't it? Yeah. So, it's been poor. And then we come into the game against Burton, who are arguably a better side than any of them. Beat them 2-0. Graham Jones is back in the dugout. He makes a huge difference. And we've seen his statement. I'll probably come on to that later on tonight, will we?
Callum's statement. Yeah, I've got it. I'm coming on to it very, very shortly, mate. What we'll do is we'll run through a few comments because obviously we'll get miles behind in the comments if we don't read some out. Joe Linton's here, guys. Lance, did I ever tell you about the time me and John went to the park and John asked me politely if he could have a lick of my 99? I said, fuck off, go and ask Dave for a lick of his knobbly bobbly instead. Jordy says, evening everyone, hope you're all well. What did you make of the away day experience at Burton on Friday, Paul? It was excellent. I mean, obviously, the trip down there was hell on earth. It was like 30, 40 mile an hour on every single motorway that we touched. You know, Stephen seemed to find me absolutely hilarious. He laughed his back off all the way down. But, you know, what I said to him was, what you see is what you get with me, whether it's on camera or off camera. I'm the same guy. So it doesn't. He got quite a surprise that he was expecting somebody completely different, I think. Newcastle have asked about Aaron Ramsey's availability for now. Discussions are very informal and no transfer talks have been entered into. That situation could change as Juve finalise their plans. Geordie, I think that's, you know, it ain't going to happen. Newcastle United have launched their bid for Marseille midfielder Boubacar Kamara. The 21-year-old has 1 year left on his contract, and Newcastle hope to prize him away from his boyhood club for 10 million.
I heard that, but that's come from the Daily Mail or the Daily Star was.
I've heard it's true from someone I know who knows an agent at the club. He said that they're testing the water with a 10.5 million bid. So you never know.
Well, that's all our money gone then, isn't it? So there you go. Niall says, Paul and panel, what's your thoughts on the Harry Kane situation? I know it's a Newcastle channel. For me, for Harry Kane, that's not a good look in my opinion. John, any thoughts on Harry Kane?
The thing is, he should have turned up for training, and apparently that he had a gentleman's agreement with Daniel Levy. So if there were any trophies, then he can go. But apparently, Levy broke it off, sort of thing, basically. And I think Harry's made it perfectly clear that he wants to go to Man City. He wants to win trophies. The guy's 28, and he's only got 4 or 5 years left at the top. And if he goes to Man City, wins something, then he can show something that he's won that trophy. Look at Teddy Sheringham. He left Tottenham for Man U, and he won trophies, Champions League titles, and that. Then he went back to Spurs. But it could happen to Harry Kane in the next 5 or 6 years. Just never know.
Not turning up's a bit shit for me. I think that's a bit shitty.
Smells of Kabay, though, doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
I mean, he was promised heaven on earth. He said he performed. He did what he was asked to do. He was promised things in the background that no one knew about. And when he actually tried to stop him, he just didn't, I can't play, I'm mentally ill, all this sort of stuff. So.
Yeah. Jordy says, can't blame Kane for wanting to move to City. Who would class as being a giant these days? But the way he's gone about it is wrong, in my opinion, especially when Spurs were the club to make him the player he is. Surely financial fair play would have to have a say if City signed Grealish and Kane in the same window for over £200 million. That being said, it is one of the top 6. So they would probably get a slap. Listen, I saw your tweet out before, Barry, about this. And I agree with you. They've sold a lot of players on. They've got a lot of players off the wage books now during the summer. Hence, they've got money available. So they're allowed to spend it. That just says, when you're a big team and you're getting money coming in like that, when you release the likes of Aguero, etc., who are on millions of pounds a year at the club, that frees up wages. So you think, right, how can we compensate for that? We'll go and get Grealish and we'll go and get Kane. Unfortunately, that's the way football is now, and I guess we just have to live with it, Peter.
Well, yeah, it's all about money now. I mean, I think Aston Villa, I think they'll accept this bit. I mean, what they've been offered there is too good to turn down. They'll probably say, but Grealish is one of our best players, but they'll be looking and says, 100 million. I kind of really refuse that, to be honest, I must say.
Money talks. Lisa's Las Vegas and Sunderland have a lot in common. They're the only 2 places in the world where you can pay for sex with chips. Oh, God almighty. I bought a box of condoms earlier. The cashier asked if I'd like a bag. I said, no, I'll just turn the lights off.
I think I've heard that.
Good one, Lee.
I think,
Lee sent a load in here, so get ready for them. After endless negotiations with North and South Korea, Trump remarked that East and West Korea must be much more peaceful as he's never heard of them. What do you call a bear without any teeth? A gummy bear.
I've heard that, yes.
Piracy doesn't kill music. Boy bands do. When I was at school, I always felt sorry for a kid called Kevin. The teacher would say to the class, "What comes after a sentence?" Kevin replied, "You make an appeal." Oh, God almighty. And another one from Lee. I love Sacriston. I can go to Johnson's fish shop in my slippers. You can't do that down London. You'd be arrested. Yeah, I've probably seen you, actually, Lee, going in a few times in your slippers. Lovely fish shop, by the way. Joe Litton says, "Hey, John, babe. Just want to say thank you for the groin massage the other day. It worked wonders. I was able to score past Burton." Yeah, there you go. I quite like that. Somebody's gone to a lot of effort with this, because if you look at that
Colgate
thumbnail, Colgate's across the middle instead of an S. That is absolutely superb. So once again, we're going to wonder who this person is. You what?
I reckon it's Ian. It's Ian.
Ian. Could be.
It's the thumbnail's too good not to be him.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ian did our thumbnail again this week, lads, and I mean, the Faulty Towers theme this week, it's just absolutely superb, isn't it? I mean, he's excellent. He's back again. Lads, has John ever told you about the time he asked me for a lick of my 99? We've seen that one.
I've seen that one.
And, oops, before I forget, I love you, John. Kiss, kiss. See you later this week, babe. Oh, it's so romantic, isn't it? Guys,
there's a kiss channel in Naples, by the way. I'll just let you know.
Only you would know that. Only you would know that.
Yeah, only you would know that. And why the hell would you say it on here when you know you get hammered as it is? Jesus. Just a reminder to everybody that when you're commenting on the show, don't go on early and put comments on at lunchtime. I was fitting up the show today, and I went on about 1 o'clock this afternoon, and there was about 32 comments already for the show, but obviously they've disappeared because I think there must be some sort of timeline on it before a live show. So a lot of them, all of them have disappeared if you put them on this afternoon. So just wait till the show starts and then throw your comments at us that way, guys. And if you do enjoy the show tonight, guys, please do smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And if you want to donate to the channel, as usual, super chats are available. Hit the $sign at the bottom of the comments and I'll take you through that way. So thank you in advance for that. James is in. Evening, lads and lasses. Hope you're all well. If not, this stream will soon cheer you up. Exactly. Warren says, "Evening, all. Hope you're well. What's your thoughts on Wilson's comments of Jones being tactically up to date? Just shows how much of a dinosaur Bruce is, a.k.a. monumental bellend." We'll come on to that in a second, Warren. Ryan says, "As a Chelsea fan, I can see if City signed both Grealish and Kane, all Premier League clubs for the next 5 years. I'll do out here, just hand them the title and call the other 19 clubs Missionary FC." Ryan, weren't you on last week just telling us about the millions of pounds that Chelsea is spending on players for the coming season? So let's not get a bit too jealous, because you have come on this show quite a lot over the summer and explained about, 100 million here, 70 million here, 60 million here. So let's not get too carried away. Good evening, Jake. Warren says, "How did Celtic get on the weekend, John? What's your thoughts on the manager?"
Oh, dear.
What was the score, John, against Hearts? Can you just remind everybody?
Let's look.
Come on, John. I don't know the score.
What was the score, John? People don't know.
It's the first game.
It doesn't matter. What was the score?
2-1. Wow.
2-1 to Hearts.
Game's up. The league's champs are over after one game.
Well, it is in Scotland, mate. To be fair.
Kickstart the season with 3 points.
Joking aside, right? I mean, the team's in a mess, absolute mess. I mean,
yeah.
Angie Postecoglou needs help. He needs to get his own back from Stafford. He needs the money. Yeah. I don't know if you saw the interview he did after the Champions League defeat. He had to go at the Scottish press, and he was right what he's saying. But if you're going to do things up in Scotland, they sharpen those pencils up and the pens up. And
I watched a bit of the highlights, John, and Celtic were Celtic were awful. I mean, they were unrecognisable from the Celtic teams we've known in the past.
That needs changing up. It needs changing up from top to bottom. It needs a new squad there. And if they don't do that, I tell you what, if you don't beat Rangers in August, the league is done. Mate,
you're not going to beat. Come on, John. Celtic will not beat Rangers in this month. It will not happen. Rangers are on fire already, and you know that. But you just you just admit it, John. The title is gone
after one game.
Yes. You know as well as I do, mate.
John, the performance was terrible.
You know as well as I do, John, that in Scotland, between Rangers and Celtic, you lose ground straight away. You're playing catch-up all season. And Celtic have not got the side, and I think you'll openly admit this, Celtic haven't got the team to afford to play catch-up.
That's the thing. You look at Edouard sort of thing, he doesn't look interested, yeah?
I think he'll be on his way before the window closes, mate. He's been
I hope he does, because he doesn't look interested. He don't want to be there. You know what I mean? Look at the game the other night. He just showed no interest whatsoever. Great.
Yeah.
Got to be one of the worst left back I've seen in years, him. Get a shot of him.
Keith's in the house. Good evening. Hope you're well, Keith. Warren says, are any of you going to the Norwich friendly on Saturday? It's my first match day in 18 months. Looking forward to the experience again, seeing familiar faces, having loads of pints and going out afterwards.
Yes, I'm there.
Have you bought your ticket, have you? I haven't bought mine yet. I'm not sure where I'm going. I picked the puppy up on Thursday, so I don't know.
It's going to be streamed, Paul. Do you know? It's going to be streamed live.
I've heard nothing of it being streamed. I think the days of streaming the games of friendlies now, I think it's done, mate. I think it's just going to be back to the old style now. But who knows? It might be. They might release on Friday night that they're going to decide to stream it. I mean, I don't personally think there's going to be a lot of tickets sold for this game. I really don't.
No, I'll be doing a stream then. I'll be doing a stream that day if I can get it.
But I mean, I probably will go if I'm openly honest, because the kids can watch the pup. So I probably will go. But I noticed you've got your condom jumper on again tonight, John.
That's it. Put the hood up, John. Put the hood up. Give her a laugh.
Hey, there he goes. The hood is up.
Nothing like Kanye West.
Kanye West. Kanye West.
He puts his hood up a lot as well, doesn't he, Kanye?
Jesus Christ, John. Out of all the people I thought you'd come out with, Kanye West is not one of them. Oh, God. I don't think Kanye West wears condom jumpers, mate. Ribbed for your pleasure. Ryan says it's scary for you guys next season. Newcastle, the only club not to make any signings. What is going on? It's what Sunderland did the season they went down. Yeah, it's bleak. It's absolutely bleak, Baz.
It's the season we went down as well when we only signed Anita. Or was it the season after we went down?
No,
I can't remember now.
A couple of seasons after that.
A couple of seasons after
that.
Yeah.
It was a shocking season. We'd finished 5th, 6th. We had a chance to push on under Pardew. I know he's not the greatest manager in the world, but he did a good job with the players.
Most of them lately have been shocking seasons, haven't they? So it's not really anything to go on. I loved little Anita. I thought he did better at right back than in midfield, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he did as well.
But for him to be our only signing that year, it just showed you the ambition under Ashley. It was never there, and he never wanted Europe. It became a problem, even though we did well in it, because we struggled in the league that season.
We did.
And then we obviously ended up getting relegated, not spending money. It's just one of those things.
Warren says Muto is on his way out to Vissel Kobe in Japan on a permanent transfer according to Sky Sports. Surely we need a backup striker now, but Bruce will play ASM Fraser, Almiron or Joe Linton up front instead. Or Jeff Hendrick.
Jeff Hendrick,
I mean, Hendrick he played the full 90 minutes again against Burton. I think everybody else came off apart from him. So I don't know what his plans are for Jeff Hendrick. I've got an awful feeling that Steve Bruce is going to play. When that team is announced for the West Ham game, Hendrick is going to be in the side. Now, you know, it frustrates me all the time when we're talking about we're letting Muto go. Now, Muto, for me, is a decent player. I don't think he's been given a good enough chance at Newcastle United. However, that's just my feeling. But the fact that we're relying on Callum Wilson to stay fit is a massive, massive risk, because he won't. He's already injured. You know? Barry, what do you make of this St. Maximin illness? What's your thoughts on it? Because he was spotted a few times out in town and playing tennis when he's supposed to be too ill to play football. So
too ill to play football, Again, it reeks of Kabay, doesn't it, in a way? But he hasn't come out and says he wants to leave yet. But he has said if we're going to be fighting relegation, he doesn't want to be part of it again. So is this the mind games with Ashley saying, well, if you're not going to put your money up, don't play me? and then I'll find a move. I don't want to be injured, so I won't risk myself, and I'll make myself fit for somebody else.
Do you guys believe he'll still be a Newcastle player come the end of the transfer window?
Yes, I think he will. But January or end of the season, he'll probably go there.
Yeah. John?
For me, I have to agree with Pete. I mean, give it till January to see what's going on. But if you don't do it in the bottom 3 in January, he's going to be away. And don't be surprised if a big offer comes in for him and he'll be away. And that gives us very little time to get a replacement. And if we get rid of ASM, we'll just wave the white flag. Because I'll tell you something now, our club is a dead club. A dead club.
I mean, I've got a surprise today, to be honest. A lot of people on Twitter especially saying that, they're not really that bothered if he went because, he's a flash player. He doesn't score enough goals. He doesn't set enough goals up. And if the game's not going his way, he'll go down easy, roll around. What do you make of all that, Barrett? Sorry, go on, John.
You just said there, right, that, he just said he gets his head down or does things that goes where. I think, if I'm honest with you, he hasn't got good enough players around him. That is the thing.
Well, that's another theory, isn't it?
And if you haven't got good players around you and you do all the hard work, they're not on this level. When he's got Pierce, who goes with him? I've noticed he goes runs about 34 yards to the bar, right?
Yeah.
And there's no one with him. There's no one ahead of him or with him.
But no one knows what he's going to do either, do you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Nobody has a clue what he's going to do.
That's the thing.
I mean, I talked about Jacob Murphy in my recap of the Burton game, saying that, what's good about Jacob Murphy is he's 2-footed and he can cut inside, shoot on his left, or he can go down the wing and cross a ball in. But with ESM, I mean, when he cuts in and shoots, his shots are normally, 90% of the time, they're not even shots. They go for throw-ins and stuff, don't they? They're not, it's very rare that we see him put a shot on target. He does sometimes and obviously scores goals. But when Murphy cuts in, 9 out of 10 times, he hits the target with his shots. But for ESM, I think players have got to have a better understanding of what he's going to do. If he's going to put the ball in, those players have to know where to be. But it's just very, very complicated with him. But, I mean, Barry, is he going to be a Newcastle player much longer?
No. Because he wants to win things. He wants to go and play football with players who are good enough around him to know what he's doing. And also coaches who know how to coach properly and how to get players in the right position. I mean, even when players are in the right position, let's go back to the FA Cup game at St James's Park against Man City. He laid one on the plate for Dwight Gale and he hit it in Rose Head. Open net. So you can't tell me he doesn't create things and doesn't know what he's doing when he does.
I'm not saying he does.
I'm saying he doesn't. But other people on Twitter and people complaining. He's a luxury player. But so was David Ginola.
Yeah, but I think every side has to have a luxury player, surely. You know what I mean? We've got to have somebody that can create a spark. And at the moment, to be fair, the only person that is doing that is Jacob Murphy right now. He's the only person that is getting the ball and driving at defenders. Fraser, for me, was anonymous on Friday night. He was in and out, but he wasn't getting the ball and running at defenders like I thought I would see from Fraser. I mean, he didn't play badly. I'm not saying that, but he wasn't in the game enough for me. A player like Fraser should be doing what Murphy does and dictating the game and really causing problems for the opposition defenders. But
I'll say one thing about ASM. One more thing. If he left, how many people would still want to go to the games and watch the team without him in it?
Well, that's the thing.
Because he is the one player that we go to watch because he's different. He can get you out of your seat. He can pick the ball up on the halfway line and he can do a Maradona because he is that good when he's got the ball at his feet. He would be the only reason why I go back to St James's Park at the moment was to have a chance to watch him live. So if he goes, you lose that spark. You really do. I know J.K. Murphy's good, but he's not ASM good.
Fair enough. Gareth Southgate's with us again. Rangers will win the SPL this season because Celtic are shite. And he also says up the Jers. Trolls is in the house. Even Trolls. Joshua says, even guys, hope you're all well. Jacob Murphy did outstanding against Burton. Yes, he certainly was. To be honest, I mean, people will come at us and say, well, it was only Burton. You know what I mean? What do you expect? As I've just lost a load of comments again because of StreamYard. Thank you very much. Dave's in the house. I believe Annie's in the house. Mariano, he's top quality, says Ginger.
Probably talk about ASMR. Well, there's 2 pictures for you if you can see them. Not very good with a green screen, I'm afraid, on them. But
God, I can see enough, Joe. I can see enough of.
That's obviously the green mankini. That's the green screen.
Oh God!
And, there you are. He's obviously in the bath with Joe Linton. So
yeah, I believe.
Apparently, you've got the moves, John.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to everybody whose comments I've missed out. I know that obviously a few of you have said hello. But I really can't dictate this bloody StreamYard thing. It's annoying, but I think there's that many comments coming in. Dave, hope you had a great time at archery week, mate. I saw some pictures. It looked a lovely setting, actually. Geordie says, Aaron Ramsey, did they get mixed up with Gordon Ramsay?
Yeah.
Even he's too good for it.
Yeah. Kevin says, agree, Paul. How am I? Any fucking chance will it come? For fuck's sake, I've been away giving it a break from this shite, lads, and it's the same old shite. It'll be the same old, same old. Billy's obviously in the house as well. Where's the lamb sauce, says Thomas.
Oh, Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, God almighty. Annie says, lads, we're going down. So he thinks Bristol City are going down.
Really? Under Pearson? That's a shock.
Well, they played somebody were they playing West Ham at the weekend? I'm not sure. Dale says we're knackered. Julie says PD looking like he's got a blueberry filter on.
What?
You're looking very blue, apparently, Pete, tonight. Billy says if you needed any proof that NUFC are doing transfers in the bargain basement, news has reached me today that Lee Charnley is in talks with the Fritzl kids.
Oh, God.
Oh my
Christ.
God.
Oh, Billy, man, you seriously. That's right on the edge of oh God. Paul says, John, I love that ribbed condom jumper. It's very popular with the viewers, John. They like to see the old rib come out, and every now and again, John. Every now and again. Too many soft tissue injuries yet again. Yes, it is. Kev, good evening. John and Joe Linton, a match made in heaven. Literally, God looked at them both and said they look mag-national together. No, John and his cocktail sausage against Joe Linton and his black anaconda.
Oh my God!
I mean, isn't it just amazing that people are going out of the way to design thumbnails like that? It's just fantastic. Kev, that's spot on, mate. I hope you're well as well, matey. Barry drinking Joe Linton diarrhea, hot chocolate tea or coffee.
Oh
coffee,
God.
mate.
What's with this diarrhea?
I don't know who brought that up originally. Billy says, enjoyed PD Patillo's train vlog to Berwick the other day. Kev says, John doesn't have problems with being soft. Hashtag hard as nails. The ribbed condom makes another appearance. The people demand more ribbed jumpers. A walking condom.
Look on the left-hand side, by the way.
Sorry?
Go back to that. Go back again, mate. Go back.
To where?
Our last comment. On the left-hand side picture.
John, we mentioned that about 5 minutes ago, mate. It's nice to know you're with us, though. It really is.
Hey!
John, we were literally talking about thumbnails 2 minutes ago, and then you go and comment on that when we've already discussed it. Honestly, bizarre. Musical Magpies, what needs to be done with the academy players playing in pre-season? I wish Bruce gets the academy players integrated into the first team since there are no signings yet. Some of them came on at Burton on Friday. I was quite impressed with what I saw from a couple of the youngsters, and I think Steve Bruce mentioned one of them. But then a load of comments underneath says, well, that's the last we'll hear of him this season because Bruce doesn't play the youngsters, which they're right. I mean, he doesn't actually play the youngsters. Keith, like your shirts, Peter? Yes, he's very, very heavy metal orientated, is Peter.
Was he on about me shirts on me screen?
Well, I don't know, but whatever shirts it is, I mean, you've got your heavy metal ones, you've got your muscle vests, you've got your Newcastle shirts. It's a different array. The same as your drinking tools. You know, you'll come out with the chalices and stuff like that from Raiders of the Lost Ark and shit. So,
and I'm just waiting for me away top to come soon as well because I've ordered that.
Yeah, I'm going to buy that when I get some cash together. Barry's shaking his head in complete. I take it you're not getting it.
As long as you don't buy it from the club, I don't care. As long as you're not buying it directly and giving your money to Ashley, that's fair enough. Buy it direct from the sponsor, buy it anywhere else.
Yeah, that's right. It's all custodial now.
There we go.
I will be ordering mine from Castoria as well. I'll not be ordering the.
All right.
Ryan says we were lucky. West Bromwich Albion and Fulham were shit last season. Norwich and Brentford are going to get 40 plus points next season, as of now, as it stands. Can't really argue with that, Barry.
Yeah, you can. Why? Why do you think Norwich and Brentford are going to get 40 points?
Because they're signing a lot of good players.
They've never been in the Premier League before, have there, as a team?
Yeah, but Barry, it's first. You know what first season things like with certainly Brentford.
One club comes up and does well.
Yeah, but Norwich is spending a fortune as well. Norwich are really improving.
Yeah, they spent a fortune last time as well, and look what happened to them. They went down. Let's just wait and see what happens when it comes to
on Saturday.
Come up.
On Saturday,
go down.
Yeah, don't be surprised if Norwich beat us on Saturday, right? I know it's only a friendly.
Wouldn't surprise me.
But this is the week before the season kicks off, so there'll be both teams will play strong units because they'll want to get the first 11 fixed up. It's the last games before the season starts, so it'll be very, very interesting to see what the score is on Saturday. Charles says Peter looks a little blue. Toon says, haha, chance of Ashley out while you're giving him your money. For fuck's sake, you couldn't make this up. Look, this argument needs to be put to bed about going to watch them, right? Yeah, exactly. I'm sick of saying it. I'm sick of it. To be fair,
the away games, Ashley doesn't see a penny.
No, he doesn't. But the fact is, if people want to go get the season tickets, which me and Peter have done, we're perfectly entitled to do so. If you don't want to go, you don't have to go.
Fair enough.
But I've been going since I was a little kid, and no one, let alone Mike Ashley, is going to stop me going to support my club. So don't come at me and have a dig for wanting to go and give Mike Ashley me money. At the end of the day, he'll be gone long, long before I will be, hopefully. So, you know...
I'm glad you ended on that.
You know, at the end of the day, this is my club, and it'll always be my club. It'll be Peter's club. It'll be Barry's club, John's club, all the supporters' club, not Mike Ashley's. So... it doesn't matter now about giving money to Mike Ashley. He's selling the club. He's got his club up for sale. We can't do much more than that. But I want to see my football team. End of story.
Yes.
Yes.
It's been a long time.
Exactly.
The only thing I'd add to it, very quickly, is that get your season tickets, go and watch the game, but still protest. Don't buy things in the ground. Don't buy burgers. Don't buy pints. Don't buy shirts. Don't buy merchandise. Go and sit in the ground, enjoy the football, sing what you want. Enjoy the game, but don't put extra money into the club. That's the only thing that I get wound up.
There is a big protest organised for the West Ham game. I think it's about 12 o'clock.
That's your question, guys, as well, while you're at that, about the protest. I've heard tweets come out and say it's going to be like a pitch invasion as well. United.
No, that will not happen. No.
I've not agreed with that at all.
No, I don't agree with that at all. Not one little bit. And I think if anybody protested by running on the pitch, then that's not unlike it. I'm sorry. We as Newcastle fans should be better than that. Should be absolutely better than that, than running on a pitch disrupting the game. Let the game be played. Protest before, protest after, but don't ruin the game for everybody. You know what I mean? You know, there's a lot more fans in there that will not want to run on the pitch. So anybody that is even suggesting that needs to be shot with shit.
We were talking about how it worked for Man United and how the press and they got the thing. I said, but that's Man United, the top six. If we did that, they'll spin it and say, look at the folks up in Newcastle.
And if fucks us up, we'll probably get a points deduction. We probably get a fine, and then we'll be screwed completely. They can't do points deduction
because they didn't do that to Man United when they got the Liverpool game cancelled.
But how many times we've said one thing for Man United, one thing for other clubs? You know, you just never know. And this is exactly what I mean. We can't take the risk. But I don't agree with disrupting the game anyway. Let the game be played. Do your protests in the normal way before, after, whatever it may be, or stay in the ground after the game and make yourselves heard. You know, but don't deny us the game, you know. Marv said, sad and late to say, but shame we missed out on Josh King, free agent from Bournemouth. But that's the level we're at, unfortunately. I can't disagree with that, to be honest. And he says, Burton are a really good League One side and had a PPG of 2.01 in the second half of last season and will be up there. I'm not sure there will be any. I wasn't that impressed with Burton, to be honest. I think, they've got a big guy up front. Looks a bit like John, but he does actually looks a bit like John, but he's very, very slow. I'd be interested to see how Burton get on. As long as they beat Sunderland, I don't care. Graham Jones, Black and White Army, and we hate Steve Bruce. Rotherham and Donny are both better than Burton. Interesting. Ryan says, I spat my water out reading Wilson's interview. He shits on Bruce. Well, yes, he does. We'll come on to that in just a second. I bet you John celebrated with a pizza full of cum bubbles and condoms and Joe Linton diarrhea with cream and a cherry on top when he scored.
Thomas, what is up with you these days?
Something about Joe Linton, right? I mean, people still aren't slagging him off. I'm not slagging him off. I want the kid to do well.
You don't slag him off. You knock him off. Sorry, you just set me up for that one.
But I had a ding dong argument with someone the other night.
Thank you, did.
And I'm going to be real with you. She said, I tried to explain to her about John. I said, look, I get behind the team. If they don't play, if he plays well, I praise him. Like against West Ham United, I give him an 8 out of 10 against West Ham on my player ratings, right? And then people's having to quote us for that. So
you cannot win, John. You cannot win, but you just keep having your ding dongs, mate. Anyway,
I want him to score double figures this season. That's what I want to see him do.
I know you do, mate.
That's never going to happen.
No,
will it happen? That's another thing.
To be honest, if he plays like he did on Friday night, or attempts to play like that, I know again we were only playing Burton, but if he attempts to play like that, we might just see a different player. And possibly, a bit more of the confident player.
He's had the number 9 took off him now.
Yes, exactly.
That might take the pressure off him a little bit.
Well, his nickname is now apparently J7 with all the players, isn't it? So,
I tell
you what, I will be ecstatic if he gets 5 goals and 5 assists this season. I'll be over the moon.
I'd love to see him have a good season. I really would. I mean, that smile on his face when he scored the other night, it was brilliant. And the fans
like
were all
John
really
his arse.
Exactly, because he knew what he was going to get that night later on. Julie, I know there's an echo every now and again, but unfortunately, it could be somebody's broadband or something like that. It's out of our control, unfortunately, but it has gone away now. I can hear when the echo starts. It's only there for about 30 seconds and then goes off. So we just have to put up with it, unfortunately. Good evening, Daniil. I told you 6 weeks ago Bruce was getting a 3-year contract, but you didn't believe me, haha.
Well, it's not official yet.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not official yet.
Even sudden Steve Bruce doesn't know the contract he's signed.
Exactly.
That's what I was going to say. Hasn't he been asked? Like, what's he got? I don't know.
Surely he signed the 3-year contract. Surely the current one ends at the end of their next year.
Well, we're hearing rumours,
probably
aren't
put
we?
the new one in front of him, and he probably thought he was signing a Greg's contract rather than a Newcastle contract, didn't he? So,
I know, but has he signed a 3-year rolling contract? Has he actually signed an 8-year contract similar to what Alan Pardew signed, and they just keep it quiet? Because they know if that's the case, there'll be World War III. John, get off your phone.
I haven't touched it.
You were just on it. I haven't touched it. John, it bleeped, and you went on it. We were not born on.
Look, my phone's in my pocket, man.
I know, but it still pops up on your MacBook as well. We're not stupid. I've got both, Anyway, Luke says it was 12 million and it's been rejected. That must be for the player that we were on about before. And he says, "Oh no, it's John because he ain't wearing any headphones." Could be.
Echo.
Yeah. Keith says, "Paul, you have an echo there." Yep. He hasn't got a 3-year contract, more like a running contract. God knows what it is.
Got a running contract.
I'm concerned, Paul, right? About that 3-year contract. He's obviously his contract. After that, he should be done. He should be done.
I don't think he's going to last till Christmas. I honestly don't. I think it'll be toxic.
He will be, and he's going to get the pressure now. The fans are back.
Yeah, he's going to know. I mean, you know what it is. I mean, he would have heard the chants on Friday. He would have heard the chants at Rotherham as well. About being a shit Steve McLaren and all of this, and we want Brucey out. He'll know. Tom says, John, what celebration would you do if Joe Linton scored a hat-trick for Newcastle?
That's a good question.
You got the whipped cream out, the strawberries out, and wait for
Finally.
Whipped cream and strawberries. Jesus.
Oh, God.
Julie says,
if he does go happy, so I would be pleased for the kid, yeah. But what I will say to you as well, that's the standard I want to see him.
Yeah.
Right? And he's got to keep those standards going each week in, week out. Do you know what I mean?
The problem is we said that for donkey moons now, saying that he's got to, when he scores a goal, he's got to keep that up. He's got to keep that, but he hasn't. So we just have to wait and see, to be honest. Julie says the only running Steve Bruce ever does is his contract. Thomas says, John, your teeth are so shiny, my eyes have gone white. Only One United says, you're right, Paul, a hell of a laugh. You are really enjoyed the whole match day experience on Friday. Thanks again, loved it. That is Stephen's new channel, by the way, that he's going to be setting up, Only One United. So hopefully that'll get going shortly. So good evening, Stephen. John's teeth are so white, I'm getting a tan.
Oh, God.
Keith says, John, your lighting looks better tonight.
Thanks very much. I appreciate that.
Where's your
Still green screen though, John.
There's Load and Mad guy who was on last week. He sent us a DM. He says he's going to help us out.
Right. Well, we've already given you loads of advice, and you've just decided not to listen to us, so it's all right.
Yeah, excuse me, so I've got it.
You'll get there in the end, buddy. Don't worry. You'll get there in the end. That's what it's all about.
I'm going to get a bit cheer, but I will play with it and get it sorted.
You will.
Give it a good.
John, you set yourself up on every time.
Too easy at times, isn't it?
He's having a ding dong. He's going to play with it. My God, I tell you what, he's in for a good time tonight, isn't he? Daniil says, I don't think Villa will turn their nose at £100 million. I don't, but I think they'll actually try and get a bit more. Kev says, after the Burton game, John gave Joe Linton a bubble bashing after his good runs through the channel. Joe Linton thanked him for the creamiest and said, maybe next time we can take it to the next level. Archer, good evening, lads. Big heads up to John and Paul. You both are invited to Archer's 30th birthday on Friday night of the 8th of October at the British Legion 7 till 11. Just thought it'd be nice to invite you both. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I may well just turn up for that, Archer. 8th of October, a Friday evening. Sounds good. Marv says, totally right. In my honest opinion, on paper, Joe Linton is good, but he's complete. Although that is under management of a cabbage. Lads, how do you reckon Joe Linton would perform under a P? So I take it that
probably what that means.
The rest is going to come later.
I would expect proper manager for that. But we all know how good Joe Linton is on paper because John tells us all the time.
Oh, dear. Thomas says, Paul, have you got your Rottweiler yet? No, I'm getting him on Thursday. I really can't wait. Really can't wait. Daniil says, Kiss Kiss is an Italian porn channel, John.
Oh!
It's a channel for Naples.
Is it a porn channel for Naples?
Nah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Look at that! Look at that smile. He knows exactly what it is.
Are you sure you misspelled nipples?
Definitely. It's a channel for nipples. Hello.
God.
Jules says Thomas Waitley has lost an eye and lots of scars. Then it's home. Warren says, Paul, you look like the true Geordie from his early days on YouTube.
Oh.
Do I? I don't think so. Well, actually, what? In fact, he's got a beard and knee hair. Fair enough. And a few tattoos. Joe Linton's back.
That's how red you go when you do your rants.
Possibly, yeah. I can't help that, though. That's just sheer blood pressure, mate. That's just Newcastle United does that to me, unfortunately. Joe Linton says, John, are you an archaeologist? I've just found a bone for you to have a look at. Tom says, we are the mighty Rangers. And even Joe Linton's shouting for Rangers, John. I tell you what, you're getting hammered about Celtic, mate. I mean, that is...
only one game?
It's going to be a long season for you, mate, with Celtic. I'm telling you now. Billy says Chelsea fan whining on about Manchester United outspending them. I know. It's funny. Jules, just joking. OFC have met Rottweilers. This is his lambs. Jules, I'm not sure. That's the. I mean, do we? It's coming to a point where some of these jokes we're having to sort of decipher like World War II coded bloody messages. Happy Feet says we're going to be thrashed at Norwich. Embarrassing before the start of the season, but it's home. Happy Feet, mate. So we'll be thrashed at home. Luke says, why don't we get Diego Costa? Celtic are trying to get him on a free. Why can't we?
You'd be asking for far too much wages.
Oh, yeah. What do you think Costa's wages would be?
Oh, 200,000.
Right, that much?
It's a free transfer, isn't he?
I just do not think Diego Costa going to Celtic. I just cannot see it happening. But if he did, he needs to work on his fitness as well, by the way. But
why, judging by Celtic's performance, the whole bloody team does.
How old is he now?
I think he's about 35, isn't he?
No, he's not getting 200,000 then.
I don't know.
I might be a bit younger. I thought he was 33 or something like that. I thought he said a couple
He may well be. He may well be, mate. I honestly
he is in his 30s.
Yeah. Joe Linton says, you're right, John. The Celtic manager needs help because who the fuck would join a small club like Celtic when Rangers are Scotland's greatest ever football club?
I'm not commenting on that.
I'm sure he wants to be in the tonight, John. That's why he's winding you up.
What I would say is Steven Gerrard would probably be aware in about a season or two's time.
Yeah, but that's after Rangers have won the next 2 seasons of division. They've won the championship for the next 2 years, and then Gerrard will say, well, there's no competition up here anymore. I'm just win the league every year. I'm away. Celtic are pants. Has he froze?
No.
Nope. Yeah. God, seriously, John, sometimes I think I'm at Madame Tussauds when I look at you. God almighty. Marv says, on paper, you're right. Joe Linton should be classed, but he's turd. Luke says, it was 12 million. The French side has rejected it. I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle are now in for Olivier Nitcham on a free. And he's just
another Henrik.
Yeah, I don't rate him.
Another Henrik. His moment of fame when he scored that goal against Lazio in the Europa League. That's his moment of fame. But other than that, he's a lazy player.
Yeah.
And when the going gets tough, he doesn't look interested. And he's slow. And I wouldn't even touch him a bounce ball. No, thank you.
Billy says Celtic have called in Stephen Hendry to help them. They already need snookers to catch Rangers. Luke says yes, go and get Nitcham. I don't want. Thomas says thoughts on Phil Jones.
Oh God!
So we've gone from Tuanzebe, right? From him to Phil Jones, right?
I think the Tuanzebe deal. I mean, to be honest, if Villa come in for him, he's only going one place.
I think he's asking for too many wages.
Yeah, but he's apparently he's interested in working with Brucey again. So who knows?
Who knows? Apparently, he's not to leave Man United until he signs a new contract either.
Yeah. And the thing is, guys, so about Phil Jones, his injury record's absolutely shocking. Why would we go? And I said this before on the show. We go for players with a bad injury record. You know, that's what we go for. That's it.
Yeah, you're right. Kevin says, fuck Rangers, fuck the Mackhams, fuck Leeds. And what did I tell you, John? What the fuck have they done? Who the fuck is this guy they've brought in? Come on, John. Celtic are fucked, mate. Can anyone tell me how many times Kev used the F word in that quote? And then he goes on to say, and so are we. So we're in the same boat. Thomas is going to the Norwich game. Steve says, I can say after 0 games, Newcastle won't win the league. So I can say after 1 game, Celtic won't. Steve says, Bruce has revealed he is in negotiations to get 2 in, Shami Kebab and Tikka Masala. Connor says Nitcham would be a good signing if we can get him to the form he had under Brendan Rodgers. Yeah, but unfortunately, going back in form, he's been poor for a while now. Marv says Josh King is a big miss in my opinion. Later that earlier than Bruce. I can't understand why we don't even pick up half decent frees. because we're Newcastle United. But it's either wages or these players just don't want to come. And I have a feeling it might be the latter, that they just don't want to play under this shocking football.
Apparently, Josh King was asking for 80 to 100,000 a week.
Yeah, but we give Joe Linton that.
He's on.
But we paid 40 million for him as well.
86,000 He's on a week. Joe Linton.
And you spend most of it.
Here's you without a green screen and without lights and without all the technology in the world. He's on 86 grand a week, John. Come on, get that credit card out.
Joey says, where do you think Newcastle will finish? I've said it. I think we're going down. As it stands, I think we're going down. But obviously the next 2 weeks, you know, it's going to be interesting. If we can get some players in, fair enough. But as it stands, I cannot see us staying up. I just can't. And after seeing the football on Friday night, you know, it's just static football again. I think teams with pace will just rip us a new one every single game. And West Ham, you know, they're scoring goals for fun in pre-season, remember? So they're going to come at us full of confidence. And it's going to be a long day. I can see that. By the time that West Ham game finishes, it could be a very, very toxic place, St James's Park. Very toxic.
West Ham don't historically do well at St James's Park, though. And we did the double over them last season. We never expected that to happen.
Yeah, but I think getting a double over anybody this season is going to be... I mean, I've never, ever been so downbeat going into a new season. Never felt this downbeat.
I think I've just looking forward to get back to watching the game, seeing everyone before a game. Now, the football's going to be draws.
The whole match day experience, isn't it? It's not just about watching the actual 90 minutes of football. It's about the match day experience and seeing everybody having a drink and having a laugh and then sitting through the pain of 90 minutes. But then, you know, that's what we've got to do. Archie says, I believe Joe Linton ended up in Burton's cafe after the win and throws a cookie in a man's arse. Cracked the man, turned around, and it was a blind Steve Bruce with milky nipples. Billy says, John, you're more like Fred West than Kanye. Luke says, Kanye West. Julie says, Kanye West presents you the Antiques Roadshow.
Yes.
Thomas says, Peter, are you growing a mustache?
No.
No, I think you've done that before, haven't you? You look like a porn star.
Oh, yeah, and then it's gone within when beginning of December's gone.
Yeah, Dirk Diggler. Billy says, can John update us on his dates with Kim Kardashian? How is the love life, John? We haven't heard for a while.
She did have she had a COVID test and
we heard about that 3 weeks ago, John. Times have changed.
But I've kept in contact. She's got a lot on at the minute, but I'm going to say it now, right? She's got the weekend to fix up, and if she doesn't fix up, then I need to do something about it. But let's go.
You sound like you were going to. I'm going to do something about it. You're not going to kill her or anything, are you?
No. I just have to make.
Take her in the dungeon.
Tell her I stand. I'm going to tell her I stand because I will not be playing second best. John, either you want it or you don't.
Yep.
Well, she's going to be playing second best to you, though, mate.
I think you need to get her on that rack, John, in the background, and just teach her a lesson. You know, exactly. Joe Linton's learned his lesson. I think you should get that lass to learn a lesson as well. You don't mess with Johnny Sinclair. Paul says, more players leaving and not being replaced. Our squad depth was bad enough last season, but now it's just not acceptable. Steve says, we signed Vernon Anita in the Championship and we thought it was a real coup, but he just did nothing and drained wages. Well, I don't quite agree with that.
No, I liked Anita.
We didn't sign him in the Championship either. We signed him after we
season in the Europa League.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Joey says, St. Maximan's going to leave. Marv says, Diego Costa's a free. Mega. Ryan says, is Wilson really injury prone, or is this dickhead manager overplaying the fuck out of him without rest? No, he's injury prone. We knew that when we got him.
All squad is. All these muscle injuries, and it comes down to one thing. They have to take ice baths and fucking wheelie bins. Yeah. Right? Our facilities are shocking, and we're not going to get rid of these niggling injuries until we update our facilities and get proper staff in who can actually look after the players properly. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, definitely. Paul said, good to see Wilson coming out and saying what we all know about the monumental bell end. Daniil says, mystery illness, don't want to play itis. ASM will be gone and good luck to him from me. Club's taking him nowhere. Then we've got a lot of hellos going on in the comments again, so we'll skip through them. Ryan said, I might have said 80 million here, 100 million there, but Roman Abramovich is sending us mixed signals from one of his yachts. We will see in the coming days. It must be nice, just to be linked with £100 million players and, knowing that your owner's on a yacht instead of sitting eating freaking a bag of fish and chips somewhere in his mansion like ours is. Marv says we'll be lucky to keep ASM until February. ASM, your thoughts, Paul? I agree. He's a luxury player, a luxury we can't afford to keep. Get rid, invest the money, says Kevin.
What? We're selling, we're not going to invest the money. It's going to end up in Ashley's pocket. Why do people keep saying this? Andy Carroll, Iosi Perez.
None of our transfers, Yeah, we've never invested any money. ASM is Neymar with less decision making and not much end product. Billy says, when has Ashley ever reinvested transfer money received? Kevin, good point that Baz has just made there. We have Bruce, and he cannot explain anything the right way. Agree with John, you can be great, but if you have turd around you, you can only reach a certain level. So, yeah, I mean...
That's the thing. That's the thing. But I look at that team, if he's going to play 5 at the back, 2 midfield, 3 up front. But I said earlier, we've never had in the midfield. I want to see a midfield, new look midfield. Someone's going to win the ball, like a Chet Taylor, someone on this quality there. We need a creativity, like a Kabay, someone like him. Yeah, and we do box player like Joe Willock or something similar to him, and we ain't got that.
No, we don't. When ASM plays, it creates some excitement. When he doesn't, it's flat as a fart. It's about entertainment. And then Thomas says, Barry, you look a bit like Rick Astley tonight.
I'll take that. Wish I could sing like him.
Ryan says, I'd take Diaz all day. Tom
says, I know nothing about him.
No, I don't either. Would you give Matty Longstaff a chance this season?
Would love to, but he probably won't.
But I think he's done at Newcastle. He's done at Newcastle. Sorry.
Yeah, interesting. What do you think of the planned demonstration at the West Ham game? What would you like to see happen? Look, just people voicing their opinion. That's all I want to see happen, and actually the message get through.
And Sky Sports get a hold of it, and all these guys actually report it, unlike the one that we did and organised one down to London. They actually.
Well, it's live on the telly, Barry, isn't it? So there's no reason why the TV shouldn't cover it. It's right there in front of them.
Yeah, but they can still not bother. You know what they're like.
Yeah. Paul, just was the entertainment value. Always looked as if he could turn a game ASM full of himself. Listen to Paul's comments earlier, man. For fuck's sake, spent half his time on his arse. Andy says, Paul, your channel has got to be the crappiest Newcastle show on. He's back! He's back! Yay! John's channel's different class. Yay! Andy, you're a prick. Anyway, we were playing Villa and played well, to be honest. So why do you think you're going down, Annie? Who knows? John, your teeth are so shiny. Oh, we've seen that one, Thomas. What's the latest on the Willock saga? Look, we're not going to talk about it because I'm sick of talking about it. I'm sure the guys are sick of talking about it. Look, at the end of the day, if he comes, he comes. But at the minute, like Barry said earlier on, somebody needs to take a decision. And I said it in my video last week. Somebody needs to take a decision. Just say, right, draw the line. It's up. It's done. We're not going to get him. End of story. See you later. And that's... I genuinely believe that's what we've got to do because we're chasing him around like a dog chases shit. You know what I mean? It's just like it's not on. We shouldn't be doing that anymore. Andrew's in the house.
Moved on a long time ago, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
with you.
I agree.
Close now. It should have put an end to it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Andrew says, "Hey everyone, how are you? First time on a bike for a long time. Feeling good. Right. Good for you." Chris says,
is that what he calls the missus?
Lads, with John Terry getting tipped to be our next manager after Bruce, do you think Cashy would get rid of Bruce if we are in the bottom 3 by January? I think he'd have to. I don't think he's going to last that long, to be honest, because I think if we were in this shit very, very early doors,
I think he's always said as long as they're not in the bottom 3, he keeps his job, doesn't he? So if he's in the bottom 3, then he's got to look at sacking him.
The thing is as well, I mean, you look at the fixtures we've got. I mean, they're not easy fixtures. Like, you look at the West Ham, ain't going to be easy. Villa, not going to be easy. Southampton, they're going to improve. And then we've got United and Leeds. We are absolutely screwed.
We need to come out fighting in those first 3 games, because if we haven't got points on the board before we hit the big boys, and then we've got that Christmas period where we've got 5 games in December and maybe 2 of them are winnable, we've got to get points early.
Yeah. John would literally make a piss up. Thomas says John farted cum bubbles when Joe Linton scored against Burton.
Oh, God.
Andrew says he loves the away kit.
I love it.
Thomas got it as well. Kevin says, for fuck's sake, John, been away for a few weeks and you're same as your effing lightning, but we love you.
Thank you.
Andrew says the best kit in the Premier League this year.
I just think black and gold goes very well.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
I think that kit's going to be sold very quickly.
Yeah. Paul says to making a world record free sign-in to not being able to compete with Brentford. That's where we are. What's the quality like on Castoria's kits? Puma stuff sucked the fat one. I think the quality's all right. If I've got any sort of criticism, they're a bit tight around the arms and shoulders.
Yeah, can be.
I think, obviously, if you're going to buy one, I would recommend going one size up with Castoria kits. But obviously, if you're very slimline and svelte like John Sinclair, then you'd get away with like John wears a size small, so it shows his midriff off, and then perky little nipples of his. Fulham spent over £100 million and still went down. That's actually a good point. Andrew says, John, what the fuck is happening with Celtic?
I'll not go for it again. But what I will say is, like I said earlier on, I mean, the team are shite. Honestly, I mean, that's not down to the manager. He wants to bring in players, or he wants to bring in more players and stuff like that. And the board are not allowed to happen. That is why Eddie Howe didn't touch the job. He didn't take the job on.
That's a good point, actually. It probably proves why he didn't take it. Anthony says, what's everyone else's take on the $5 million loan fee for Tanzebi? A lot for one player and also half our pathetic budget. Look, I don't think he's coming at the end of the day because, like we say, Villa's in for him as well. There's only one team he's going to, because he won't come to us and play struggling relegation football when he can go to a club with a bit of ambition. Kevin says, Castoria, I'm not sure the 2 Scouts kids have signed up big clubs to wear their kits. Fatfoot Cassidy is the marketeer here, I'm sure. You never know. We don't know what goes on. Daniil says to go or not to go. Everyone has a choice. Yeah. Daniil says, agree, Barry. Guys, what's your views? West Ham value 400 million. I'm not going to talk about West Ham's valuation because I don't care. Protest should be peaceful. Agreed, Daniil. Kevin says, good rant, Paul here.
Protest, right? If you're going to do a protest, don't do it in small groups. It should be done in one last group. One last group. Make a stand.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's been quite well organised for this one. So it should be interesting. Kevin says, good rant, Paul here, mate. Well fucking said. We will still be here in the 3rd division. Ashley will be gone. Too right, Paul says, Keith. Doesn't matter who we bring in or not at the end of the day. Bring in 200 million of new talent, but Bruce will still mismanage the game if we have 10 million to spend it on a manager. Good point. Good evening, Andy.
Spend on a training facility as well, I would.
Yeah, well, that simply has to happen at some point. The protest has to be patient. I agree with you, Paul, 100%. The only way is to simply not turn up. You know, there's going to be fans turning up. There will be. David likes my background. Thanks, mate. Thomas says, do you think we might make this Europa Conference League? Oh, give us a break. Listen, any sign of Newcastle United getting into Europe is a long, long way away. Julie says, I disagree on not spending in the ground. You're supporting the staff who've been furloughed for so long and need job security. Plus the club, not Mike Ashley, need the income, in my opinion. That is also fair enough, Julie.
It is a fair point, but you've got to think about what our end goal is as fans. We want to see Mike Ashley out of this football club. Now, if that's going to put a few jobs at risk, then so be it, I'm afraid. You know, if we're asked to pay £500, £600 of our hard-earned money to go and watch that game, we should be able to watch decent football.
Yeah.
So whatever it takes, we need to get them out because those guys will get the jobs back when the new owners come in, and there'll be more stuff to buy, and it'll be a better club. So there's a silver lining at the end of it.
Yeah.
Just a quick one, right, guys? I mean, guys, just go around the table quickly. If you do get a takeover, who would your choice manager will be? If you had a choice, who would yours will be? I start with you, Paul.
Mancini.
Mancini.
You going Mancini as well, Pete?
I think I would like to see Mancini as well. I must say.
Full house.
So,
No, it's not. I want Rafa back. I want to win my
piss
bet.
off, Barry. No, give our man.
I want to win my bet.
If we had a chance of Mancini or Rafa, you tell me you'd go for Rafa. No. No.
Taz, you go for Rafa, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Rafa over Mancini.
Yeah.
Why?
Just said to win my bet. It's 200 notes to me, that.
Oh, Nick. Brentford have an exceptional business and recruitment model. Even if they go down, they are better placed than us for the future. And he says, that guy up top used to play for Rangers. Troll says, Paul Hom off Paul. Okay. Thomas says, sorry, Peter, just a bit gone in my head. And he says, ding dong. Ding dong. Oh, God. Ryan says, ding dong, you got something long in your pants you want to show, John?
Oh.
Paul says, take a leaf out of John's book, get behind the player. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean there, Paul. Anyways, great show, guys. Have to go. Mrs. is bitching. John passed some tips how to keep your bints in line. Take care, everyone.
Don't call her a bike.
Exactly. Which club will Andy Carroll sign for? Don't care.
No, but I know. I don't think a Premier League club will touch him now.
No. Actually, I've never heard. I haven't heard any rumours of any club being interested in bringing him in so far. 3-year contract clickbait, says Daniil. Maybe will Bruce resign if the home game atmosphere gets too toxic? I don't think he'll ever resign. I think he'd be sacked, though.
He's signed other clubs, though, and he's signed Sheffield United, Wigan, and he's walked out on clubs as well, man. But
it's his last job, though. I don't think he'll walk out on this one. I think he knows he's not getting another job after this.
Well, I found you to hit home.
Is Lewis going to be first choice if Richie leaves? Lewis came on and he made a few good runs down the left-hand side, won us a couple of corners. But Richie, I mean, this guy, whether it be a friendly match or not, I mean, he is like a bulldog. He just, I mean, in the second half, he had a chance to cross the ball and it was headed away. And he just absolutely whacked the advertising board behind the goal. And then he just let the ball roll out in a huff. And then he just sprinted back to his position. Honestly, the guy is just so passionate. And Richie
won't leave.
I don't want to see him go. I don't want to see him
go. He won't leave.
Why aren't we signing Jetro and Willock? Well, that's $1 million question. Steve Bruce.
Jetro was money again, wasn't it? That's what they were saying.
Yeah. Luke says, why can't we get Diego Costa? Celtic are trying to get him on a free. Well, PD wearing headphones looks like Labot from Empire Strikes Back with a thyroid issue.
What? God almighty. Oh, my word.
Thomas, John, where is your mum tonight?
Upstairs, watching TV.
Okay. Joel says a hat-trick for Joe Linton. He would run around the house doing the helicopter.
He'd probably take us as well.
I want him to improve as well. I hope he does score a hat-trick, but is he going to do it? I doubt it.
We don't know.
If he gets a brace, he'll be running around naked doing the helicopter.
Damn right. I
think we all will.
Because on Joe Linton's contract, it says goal bonus and just John's name underneath. Billy says Laurel Hubbard, the first transgender Olympian, was eliminated from the women's weightlifting competition after failing to show the judges an acceptable snatch.
Oh.
Honestly, Billy is so close. He just grazes the bone every single comment, doesn't he? Tom says, is Bristol City going to get promotion this season? Well, not according to Annie. John looks like he's watching the sunset. Yeah. Annie says, not a chance. Kevin says, John's teeth are so bright, he's got a tan.
True, I've had that one.
Ryan says, hey, John, voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
Ce soir. Come on.
Ce soir. Come on, John. Ce soir.
I don't know French, and even I know that.
Yeah. Archer says, well, I believe
Joe seen that one. Oh, no, we're not. Oh, he's got an arse because he's got fireworks display.
Cookie and arse crack again, but we'll read it. Well, I believe Joe Linton threw a Cookie and Steve Bruce's arse crack after that win at Burton. When it comes to November, there'll be fireworks display on Bruce's crack hosted by Joe Linton.
Oh, God.
31 says Annie. I'm not sure. What the hell? Aye, lads, Joe Linton's performance under a proper manager, it will probably be third, though. David says, hi, Paul. I like your background. Are you going to the Newcastle Norwich game on Saturday? Because me and Peter are. Do you know this, David?
Yeah. You came on my live show.
Oh, Christ, of course, yes. Sorry, David. There's that many bloody people I've still yet to meet off social media. It is incredible. Joel says, I'm up early tomorrow. Great show as always. Take care, gang and hosts. Have fun. See you tomorrow, Trolls. I can see Rangers Billy Boy Bastards having a good do in the Champions League, to be honest, says Kevin. Yeah. So
tell you what, if you don't qualify the Champions League, I will be laughing me.
Well, yeah. How did Celtic get on? How did Celtic get on?
Oh yeah, out straight away.
John, how did Celtic get on against what was it
to us?
Who was it?
Wasn't it?
Didn't Celtic get knocked out to that Sunday League team, FC Midtjylland or someone, was it? Is that right, John? Was it them?
Come on, John.
Nothing.
Just say
He's got nothing.
Yeah.
Ryan says, Paul, OFC means of fucking course not. You're an old fart. Ryan, don't even dare. Don't even dare. Thoughts on Villa signing Bailly for 35 million or Bailey?
Really? From Man United?
He's quality.
No, it's not. It's not Eric Bailly. It's Leon Bailey.
Jamaican international.
Oh, right.
He's absolutely quality. He's quick, skillful. He's got a lovely left foot on him, cut inside. Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And he's got an end product as well to his game.
Every Premier League club has spent, and look at you. Yeah, look at us. Haven't spent a penny. What's the odds on Newcastle getting relegated this season? I think quite high, I would imagine.
I looked at it last time. It's 11-4.
Low. It'll be low.
Yeah. Who is the Czech Republic player being linked with HW28?
I have heard we were offered a Czech Republic player, but I can't remember what he was called. Lucas Masterpust, 6 million.
Very well put, Baz, because I couldn't read that name. I can't imagine Joe Linton.
That's right.
I know. I can't imagine Joe Linton jumping out of John's cupboard fully naked with some flowers on and a toy. Nah. No.
Oh,
not back to that monkey again.
Oh.
Alan says odds on ASM leaving before the window shuts. I think that I don't know.
I mean, there's a good chance, and there's a good chance you won't. It's a difficult one.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if Ashley sells him right on the last day of the window. Then you say, "Oh, we didn't have time to reinvest the money," and then that money ends up in his pocket. So anything's possible with this club.
BG says, I was swimming in a pool. The lifeguard blew the life whistle so hard it was without the speedos. Andrew, why not Barry and Peter? Okay. But invited to his party. Well, Baz lives in York. Peter is probably already going. He doesn't have to invite Peter. But I don't understand because, John lives in York. Barry lives in York. John lives in Bristol, but John got the invite. Archer, I think you need to sort of, sense the room a little bit better. Luke says Newcastle.
It's my 40th on the 5th of October anyway, so you can.
Oh my God, Peter, are you in Joe Linton's bedroom? I'm hearing John hasn't impressed tonight.
What?
Would you go for Harvey Elliott on loan? I don't know who Harvey Elliott is.
I was waiting for someone to tell me who he was, to be fair.
I don't know. Jason says, has Muto finally gone back to Japan? Looks like we've got a few bob in an undisclosed fee. Yeah, it would be undisclosed, wouldn't it? God forbid to tell us how much we're selling.
I don't think it'll be much, though.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Someone said 1.4 million or something like that.
Yeah, it'll be round about that. It won't be a lot.
How much you pay for this guy? 9.5 million we pay for this guy. We are wasting so much money. 8 million on Sean, right? We 9.5 for Muto. We wasted so much money, man.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, and guess who's getting the blame for it? Rafa.
Oh, don't start with your Rafa sub stories again, Barry. Oh, I'll start playing the violins for you.
He's getting the blame for it. And he was shopping in bargain basement with bargain basement.
I know, Baz, but Baz, to be fair, he did bring in some mingers. He did. But every manager doesn't get it right with the signings. There's always some mingers come in. Fergie made mistakes.
Yeah, yes, he did.
Paul says. Exactly. Paul, you look like Paul says you four look like the cast from the lowest budget porn film ever, but we still love you guys. Thanks very much, Paul. Very much appreciated.
Cheers, mate.
By the way, I am Layla, and on your last video, I clipped you doing the tongue with Bruce on Phil Jones. I was laughing so hard.
Who?
I don't know. By we, I meant Leeds, RE, Anita. All right, okay.
Oh, because we're the Leeds.
So these are the odds for relegation, right? Which I don't know. I don't even know how we're there. Norwich 5-6 favourites to go down.
Yeah.
Watford evens to go down.
Yeah.
Brentford 11-10. Palace 7-4. Burnley 5-2, and then us at 11-4.
Oh, that's right. 11-4.
I think Burnley. I've actually backed Burnley to get relegated this season. I've said.
I just never know with Burnley. You just never know.
They've slumped towards the end. And
yeah, they did. Yeah.
I've said I don't think that takeover has gone to plan.
No, it definitely hasn't. I mean, they're in debt, aren't they? Straight away as soon as
90 million in debt for a club their size is just my God.
I mean, Palace. I think Palace will be all right this season.
I think Vieira get it right in time. They
brought some good players in, so I think they'll be in.
According to the bookies, there's 5 teams worse off than us, according to the bookies.
I don't think them bookies have seen us in pre-season.
Relegated, lads. I really do.
See what happens. Archie says every time John's phone beeps, it's the sign of Joe Linton getting horny and ready for match days. Need more centre-back cover with Florian leaving. Couple of injuries and we're buggered. Look, we've got plenty centre-backs. I mean, I don't think centre-back is a problem.
Young Watts suffered a lot of injuries to them last season.
Yeah, I mean, young Watts came on Friday on Friday night for the second half. Did very, very well. Looked very, very good alongside Lascelles, to be honest. And I don't think we'll have a problem there. There's more priority positions that we need to fill. We need something in the midfield. We need a backup cover for Wilson. And if we don't get them, we are monumentally screwed. I'm telling you. Steve says Chelsea are trying to get Haaland. They can't complain about what City are doing. Good point. Very, very good point. Marv says, I'm obviously late to the situation, but what's the situation between John and Joe Linton? Or is that a different video? Sorry, John, just asking. Barry, would you like to explain? I'll let you do this. Why John gets so much hammer about being Joe Linton's lover?
So it's a twofold story, isn't it? So first of all, John decided that Joe Linton, after we had slated him so much and rated him about a £2.5 million player, John came out and says he was a £15 million player. So, his valuation was well out of order there. And then we were talking about the January transfer window, I believe it was, when I first joined the show, and John's phone never stopped bloody ringing. Yeah. So it turns out that every time John's phone rings, it is Joe Linton because he's his agent. He's a secret agent, and he's been trying to get rid of him, and he can't.
And to be fair, it wasn't us that started all this Joe Linton stuff off. It was you guys out there watching. So it wasn't anything to do with me, Peter, Baz, or Sharky before that. It wasn't anybody to do with us. It was you guys out there that started the Joe Linton stuff. So I'd just like to make that to everybody's knowledge that it wasn't us. Leila says, what can Daka do for Leicester? Well, Layla, we're not really bothered about Leicester. I know you've got a soft spot for them, Layla, but unfortunately, we don't care. We're more bothered about our club and the situation we find ourselves in, because Leicester are going to be up there again next season. I'm under no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Will Barry ever give you up? Will he ever let you down? Rick Astley there. We lost 3-0, says Annie, against Villa in a pre-season friendly. What's John drinking? Radiator de-icer.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
What are you drinking, John?
oh, it's just blackcurrant lemonade.
Blackcurrant lemonade?
Yeah.
Or blackcurrant with
used-
lemonade?
Yeah, blackcurrant with lemonade. Yeah.
Yeah. I've just got the normal blackcurrant, but I gave up on my green bottle because it was just getting ridiculous. It looked like I was drinking I was just pouring this liquid into my mouth. It was just very, very strange. Thomas says, run around and desert you. Antifreeze, radiator. I've got to say, what's radiator de-icer? Yeah, exactly. Joe Linton or Akin Fenway? Yeah, we had that last week. I mean, to be honest, a lot of people said Akin Fenway. Paul says, pre-season is for trying things out. New players, none. New tactics, none. New ideas, none. And pundits wonder why we are so pissed off. It's supposed to be the Premier League, and we look like assholes. Yep. David then says, up the Rangers, fuck off Celtic.
You're getting hammered, you, John, tonight, aren't you?
Rangers is my second team.
I don't agree with all this second team shite, by the way. John, how can you be so passionate about a fucking Scottish team, man? You know, I like Barcelona. I like Barcelona, right? I like watching them, but I'm not a massive super fan of them, like John is of Celtic and every bloody Italian bloody team in that league. Newcastle is my team, and that's it. I don't mind going watching York, and I'll support them, but I'm not going to go, oh, here's my York City shirt. I'll look out for the scores every weekend. It's like, John,
what was this live stream you did the other day talking about Man United's transfers?
Oh, Jesus Christ, John.
Why?
No. It's just
you're letting me down, John.
Burn it out a little bit. That's all.
John,
burn it a little bit.
You do a lot of live streams about Manchester United and Tottenham.
Claire Williams.
But you still do them.
There it is. He's trying to get into Claire's knickers. That's the. There we go. It's
Claire, if you're watching, I really do apologise for Barry. There is no excuse for him, but man.
Do you want to listen to the show tonight? If I get a tweet off her and it's about her, and I'll see you about it. Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, John to Joe Linton, never going to give you up, never going to let you down. Joe Linton lets him go in the dungeon's toilet.
Respect.
Just a separate message from football. Iceland and Aldi do a great steak, Big Daddy steak, 16 ounces, £5 bloody great, says Marv. I'll have to get myself to Iceland, I will. When is the protest, says Owen? It's 12 o'clock, I believe, on Sunday at the West Ham game. Do you watch SPL, and will you take Kent, Tavernier, and Morelos? I'd take Tavernier and I'd take Kent without a doubt.
I'd take Morelos as well.
I wouldn't have Morelos.
I would.
I think he's past it now.
Really?
Oh, there you go. There's Tom's usual comment on a Monday night. Hey, John, have you been to Blythe Butchers lately? Derek says the only way is to hit him in his pockets. Money is the only way of hurting Ashley. Alan says Jose at the Toon at some point would seem right. Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
his connections with Bobby and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Kev says, I think Baz has missed the point. Not spending money in the ground. Putting people's jobs on or at risk. You've pissed me off.
Oh. Oh, well, Kevin, you get to the ground and buy a pasty, mate.
Fair enough. Mancini for me if takeover happens. Thoughts on a Bruce New 3-year deal? No, just no. Jason says Darlow had to go to hospital for COVID. Must have been the Delta variant. Surely he would have been double jabbed. I didn't even know he was in hospital, to be honest.
Yeah, he was.
I only knew that when which is crazy. Bielsa would sort you out and fly up the table.
Great manager. Newcastle.
Kevin's back again. Fucking Rafa, feck off, Baz. You're 200 quid and shove it up your ass. You want people out of a job? Well, bollocks, Baz. You've hit a raw nerve. If that's what it takes to come on, bollocks. David's has got a free ticket for the Sir Bobby Robson suite on Saturday. Going to give Charlie some stick if I see his fat little penfold head. Good for you, mate. Kevin's back again. Baz, Rafa before Mancini. For fuck's sake, you've lost the plot, mate. Akira, good evening. Lads, loving the show. Thank you very much. Ashley worth 2.7 billion. We can't hit him in the pocket because 20k of us don't go to games. He doesn't care. It's chicken feed to him. He's more hurt by the negativity, but Sky, etc., won't report it. Marv says, lads, do you reckon you'll get a video with the true Geordie?
Probably not.
No.
Yeah. Listen, Brian's a good lad, right? He's a really good lad, and he's been very successful. And I wish him all the best. To be honest, you know, he's
done to get far where he is now.
Listen, he started off with a laptop, so you know what it is. He's done all right for himself, and I think he got into it at the right time. You know, when things were just kicking off on big style with football YouTube channels and things like that. And credit to him, he's done well. John had a bath with Joe Linton, played with Joe Linton's Willie like a shark.
Oh,
Tom, Johnny is still using that Colgate toothpaste, makes your teeth nice and shiny.
Yeah.
Ryan says, I'm flying from Montreal to Glasgow and watching the game against West Ham. Oh, so you come to the West Ham game, are you? Well, it'll be nice to meet you, Ryan, if that's the case. But get yourself onto the fan forum tomorrow night. We'll have a chat about that. Kevin says, John, us Celtic and Toon fans just got to grin and bear it.
Yeah, I think so.
John bears it all the time. Paul says Celtic like Bristol, but colder and not quite as shite. Close, though. Then Ryan says, just kidding. Why would I fly overseas to watch garbage football? Where's Layla with them jokes? I think you mean Judy. She's not in the house tonight either. I mean, no Chippers and Judy. I mean, dear me.
I've got a bit of a story about that. I heard that Judy swiped right to Chippers.
No.
They went on a date. It went well. They went back to the bedroom. Judy went down and screamed, "It smells like Bigfoot's dick," and then legged it out of the house.
Oh, God.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest, Baz. Thank you very much for that. Harry Kane didn't turn up for training. Reckon he's holding out for a Newcastle takeover to be Callum Wilson 9's understudy. Oh, yeah, we can wish. Kevin says, Baz, any money coming in from transfers can't go straight into Ashley's pocket. Have you not heard of HMRC? Yeah, actually, I don't think Ashley's heard of HMRC.
No.
That's a good point. Yeah. Harvey Elliott plays for Liverpool. Marv says, great stuff, by the way. Thomas says he called the Community Shield a McDonald's trophy. Kevin says, Paul, has Baz had a bad night? For fuck's sake, he's just been a tit tonight. Baz, forget Rafa. You watch what he does with fucking Everton. I mean, you've really pissed him off tonight, Baz.
You'll have him top 8, won't he?
Well, we'll see. Billy says, if you guys out there get withdrawal symptoms after the show ends and you feel you need to watch Paul some more, King Gary is streaming on the iPlayer. King Gary?
I'm going to have to Google that.
Oh, well, Billy, I'll fall out with you if that's anything. Barry's wearing Nike. Yep. Kieran says, does John have a mobile dungeon as well as a basement dungeon?
I don't know who you know.
Baz, piss off. Look, did it be upsetting me and Kev tonight? I think you'll have gone far too far. Come on, let me see.
You ever seen Men in Black?
Yes.
You ever seen Men in Black? Yeah, Boris the Animal.
Oh. Billy, screw you. Watts deserves a start in the team, says Thomas. Tom says, John, I'm hearing you're a free agent in the transfer window. Archie says, well, I have just booked my ticket for Norwich. I believe Joe Linton is currently finishing, and he gets a dildo and gives it to Steve Bruce, the dildo of lack of signings. Archie goes very deep. How many PD products? I knew you'd pick up on that, Baz. You're on a roll tonight. How many PD Proudlocks are there in the Newcastle team?
Because of the shit.
Yeah. Kevin says,
just want to get on the back now.
Kev's back again, Baz. Bazza has had a real bad night because he's had to sort the bairn out.
Probably, yeah. I've had them all day.
Never going to make you cry, never going to say goodbye and tell a lie and hurt you, Barry.
Brilliant.
Views on West Ham in 2 weeks. Are we ready? Absolutely not. Absolutely no chance that we're ready.
The season unprepared, and if you go to the new season unprepared, then you're going to get your pants down, I'm telling you. And that's what's going to happen.
John, pants down.
Why? Pants down. He just sets them up, doesn't he?
He does. Is John on an antique chair? Where is Lee Charnley these days? Who the hell knows? Marv says, thanks, lads. Sorry, John, but I understand that on paper Joe Linton should be great. Unfortunately, he's turd in real life. Position could, of course, be argued, but that's up to you, lads. And then Thomas says, John's smiling and his light looks like he's the brightest person in the room. Are you trying to be romantic now, Thomas? Fair play. Honestly, I just thought it'd be top class to you and True Geordie to get together. You never know. You never know. Might get him on the show. Paul says, a ginger wearing a red shirt. That's bold, Baz. You look like a post-period tampon.
Hey!
Wow.
Love it.
Wow. Ryan wants to know, what are your guys' Instagram?
I don't have one. Too old.
I've got two, my normal one, and I've got my YouTube one as well. So
yeah, I've got the Toon review one as well, and I've got my own one. So if you just look up my name, you'll find it, Ryan. I think I already follow you, actually. What's your score predictions for West Ham? That'll come next week. Hashtag never going to give you up, says Thomas. Keith says Barry's on fire tonight. Right.
Also look like it as well, apparently.
Yeah, we've got about 20 minutes left of the show, so we're going to talk a bit about this. I'll just read it out. This is obviously the quote from Callum Wilson earlier. I think Graham Jones coming in as a coach in January definitely complimented the manager because he's a little bit more tactically aware and up to date, whereas the manager has his different strengths and attributes. When you see the results towards the back end of the season and the way we were in games, we had more of a style and philosophy. That will happen from the start of the season with a good coach around to help out the previous coaches. Peter, your views on that comment from Callum Wilson?
Wow. I didn't expect that. I must say, because normally you would have players like giving the manager credit.
Yeah.
Like bloody Shelby did a canny while back.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Is that the first time you've seen that?
Yeah, I would say the first time I've seen something like that in my life.
Wow. I mean, he's hit him hard. I mean, Steve Bruce reading that is going to be, well, I think the realization may hit home that the players probably look up to him.
Pretty much a mic drop situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I was literally just absolutely screwed you, basically. But this is why we want Graham Jones to take over. The only reason why I don't is I think Graham Jones is a very good number two. And I think he needs a better manager alongside him to do the every other day stuff. Graham Jones is a very good man-to-man manager. He's obviously gone to Callum Wilson and said, look, we need you doing this, need you doing that. This is how you should do it. Mm-hmm. And then he's also going to be taking on one of the long staffs, isn't he? Sean. He's going to take him to the side and he's going to work on him for a while, and we can see if he progresses. If he does, we completely know everything about Steve Bruce. He's shite. And we know everything about Graham Jones as a man manager or coach, or what you want to call him. So you still need a manager, but we need Graham Jones to be there all the time. But we need a better manager than someone who knows how to tactically be more aware in the game, better substitutions. You know, he's just a dinosaur, and we've said it every week.
Yeah. John, your thoughts on that Callum Wilson quote?
I thought, he said, well, I saw that, I thought, wow. Someone finally has come out and spoken against Bruce, basically, from what it says. Yeah, I mean, he's correct when he said about Graham Jones coming in and made a difference. But when you come out and say a statement like that, then unfortunately, Steve Bruce, it can only end in one way. And I think he is yesterday's man. You need to be up to date. And I've said this before, you need to up to date, bring new ideas. Don't forget, Graham Jones made a difference when he came.
Oh, God.
Huge difference. Without him, Willock, and Wilson would be relegated. I'm telling you. But like Baz said, I mean, Graham Jones is a great number 2, but would you take us to number 1? It can't do any worse. I'd give him a season, see how he does.
I would just hate him to be a number 1 and fail, and then that would be
that's the
his
risk,
legacy.
Yeah,
that's the risk.
Yeah,
that happened with Luton now.
Exactly. But we'll see. I mean,
get a decent manager in and get a younger manager in, and then Graham Jones show him the rules.
Even a half decent manager with Graham Jones would be better. Not an absolutely useless pile of monumental bellend we've got now.
Yeah, somebody who's willing to work closely with Jones, like Bruce clearly isn't. Somebody who can stand on the touchline with Jones and actually chat amongst themselves, like John Terry did at Villa last season. You know, we saw him loads of times talking to what's the Villa's manager, Dean Smith, loads of times. Having conversations. We see it with a lot of teams when they turn to the coaches and the standard. I mean, he'd rather have a conversation with Steve Agnew about shoe polish or something, or fucking what Greg's or Curry after the game, than actually, Graham Jones. He stood there on Friday night, and he stood there on the halfway line with his arms folded like that, and just studying all the players doing the warm-ups. He was just from the off. He's studying them. He's working out the body language and all of this kind of stuff. You can tell. And obviously, if Fat Boy was nowhere to be seen, because he would have just got dog's abuse anyway.
And there's a main reason why Graham Jones went to England, because he's that fucking good.
Yeah,
and
he's that highly thought of, without a doubt. Paul says, John, I hear, is the new George Best with the ladies. I'm sure he can show Joe Linton how it's done on the pitch too. Oh
Brilliant.
my God. Paul says Grinder looks dodgy tonight with you four. Bloody Grinder, Jesus Christ. Derek says, how bad are we getting with the lack of signings, with fans quoting Rick Astley now? Get a grip.
They're taking the piss out of me with Rick Astley.
Yeah, it wasn't anything to do with the club, Derek. Don't worry. Thoughts on Lazar being released by Watford? Well, he lasted long. He did,
but he was another one I'm glad we got rid of. He was, even though he didn't play a lot, but it was that game against Watford. Wolves went over in China.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a mercenary. I mean, he hasn't even kicked a ball in anger for Watford, and he's been released. All true words by Callum Wilson. Ryan, Paul, I just followed you on Instagram. Yeah, cheers, Ryan. Wilson said what ASM has hinted at in tweets. Fair play to the lad for having balls and playing on his popularity and talent. I agree with that. Kevin's back again. Baz, your comments about Jones is spot on. Welcome back into the room of common sense.
Thanks, Kevin.
All friends again. What can Tielemans do with Leicester? Well, keep doing what he's doing, to be honest.
A lot.
Very good player. Graham Jones kept us up last year, not Sir Kebab-a-lot. Yeah. Daniil says Jones has the football nounce. Derek, Bruce has made an offer to Shields, wants a 3-year contract, free beers and kebabs. After intense discussion at boardroom level, which lasted a minute, we decided he couldn't bring anything to our club. Yeah.
Wow.
Eddie Howe and Graham Jones.
Do you know what it is? Now that he's not linked to Celtic, he's still out of.
He's worked with Eddie Howe, though, hasn't he, Graham Jones?
Yeah. I would take him.
And very, very well as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas says John is probably the man cleaning the glasses in the Rick Roll video, while Barry is Rick Astley, and Paul and Peter are probably those girl and boy that dance in the background. Thomas, your imagination is very strange. I'll give you that. You have one of the strangest imaginations I think I know. Marv says small sayings mean large things, not saying a lot. But it shows that good players have more faith in good coaches than poor managers. Steve Bruce has put an ad in the medical journal for a new physio. Qualifications must have their own magic sponge. God almighty. You know what? I think, was it the 66 final I was watching before the Euro final on that Sunday afternoon? And, players going down injured and the physios come running on. And all they did was a wet sponge with cold water and just rub it on the injury. I mean, what the fuck is that going to do? Seriously, I'm really pleased I didn't play a sport back then, because I would have just... That would have killed me off. I mean, ripping a knee ligament. Oh, don't worry, here's the cold sponge on it. Jesus Christ. Ryan says, what do you guys think about Wijnaldum to PSG? I saw Liverpool fans were having a go at him for going there for money. I think he deserved his move. You know, I think he's done really well for Liverpool, and you can't really blame him. You know what I mean? He's in the twilight of his career. PSG come knocking. You're not going to turn them down.
He wasn't a regular starter either, was he, for Liverpool? He was always in and out of the team. He did really well when he was in it, but he was a squad player for them, where PSG is probably going to be a starter every week in that league.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love him back at Newcastle. John, why is your trophy cabinet empty behind you?
Because Newcastle hasn't won enough trophies, haven't they?
Tom, it's not a trophy cabinet. It's his dildo house. And the reason it's empty is because Joe Linton. Yeah.
Oh,
and the reason it's empty is because the dildos are in the dungeon.
Derek says, great club in 3 years would be too expensive. Newcastle fans are very disappointed. Ryan, Steve Bruce has camped out the Indian snack lunchbox for the special daily kebab. Shelby won't be happy about Wilson's comments about his Uncle Steve. Well, yeah, I mean...
Shelby could gun for all that cares.
I mean, Shelby, I mean, this little niggle, that he's had when he went running seems to have lasted an awful lot of few weeks, considering it was just a little niggle. And I think people took when I tweeted out last week about Steve Bruce saying with Callum Wilson's injury, had it been a league game, he would have played him. What I wanted to come across in that tweet was I wasn't saying, it's a friendly, you should play him. No, what I'm saying is this is Steve Bruce all along. Any slight little risk of an injury, right, with Callum Wilson, you're going to get him out for 8 to 10 weeks. So if it had been a league game and he says, I would have played him, despite him having a little niggle, we would have lost Wilson for 8 to 10 weeks and been screwed again. So this is why we need backup for Callum Wilson. But then everybody came at me saying, it was only a friendly. You want Buzz?
Saying even if he would risk him, he shouldn't be risking him because that's not what a manager should be doing to your prize. That's it. Exactly. Without him, we're screwed. So you would rest him for the game, regardless of who it's against.
Exactly. I believe Steve Bruce is in Tokyo for the Olympics. He received a bronze medal for pulling his butt and making a massive wet fart.
Oh, God.
Awesome, man. Thanks, Paul. My mum used to say I have a wild imagination. Your mother's right and all, Thomas. And I wonder if your mother knows what stuff you're putting on here on a night time on a Monday night. And where you're
I want to know what his mother's caught him doing.
Yeah. Why does your mum say you've got a wild imagination, Thomas? What did you get up to? Tom says, Paul, is that where John keeps his condoms for his date night when he's a really horny man?
His dildo cupboard.
Jason says Lazar got to try with Redden. Last chance saloon. Redden?
Jesus.
Christ almighty. I tell you
they
what.
did all right last season, didn't they? They looked like they were flying at one point and then they just went
they did. They just fell away. They just fell away like John's cock does after he's exploded in Joe Linton. So anyway, next week, next Monday night, we're going to do our predictions. So guys, if you can next Monday just have your Premier League tables written out, and we'll see how much they compare to each other. Full table, yeah. I mean, we can see all we want about Newcastle. I mean, I think people know our stance. I think it's going to be a very, very close season. I think they're going down. John thinks we're going down, but Barry and Peter don't. Which is interesting.
I think we'll be hanging
around. Is what I said.
15i, bro. 15i.
We're going to be in it. We're going to be in it without a shadow of a doubt. But it'll be interesting to see what you guys actually come up with next week as to who you think's going to be where. So from 1 to 20, as it stands, obviously, if Newcastle make any signings this week or other clubs make signings, then obviously that will kind of swing it around a little bit, I guess. But I'm interested to see where you think, look who's in the house about 5-10 minutes before the show ends.
Yay.
Judy says we're going down like a U-boat in a whorehouse. And Thomas says, hi, Paul, you don't want to know. Actually, I don't. Like Barry probably does because he asked the question what you did. So, feel free to private message Barry and then we'll see. Derek says, I heard Shelby injured himself getting up from his chair. Clearly overdone it.
Don't miss him. Don't miss him.
I've heard he wants to leave. He wants to go back to West Ham if they'll have him. I mean, who would have him at this stage?
Anyone can have him full. I care now.
You know what I do? I'm driving down to where you want to go, right? And don't worry about the fare. Just take where he wants to go. Drop him off there. Don't worry about the fare. He's yesterday's.
So there you are, John Joe. If you're watching, if you're watching, John Joe, Joe Linton's boyfriend will gladly take you anywhere you want to go.
Maybe he'll take you to heaven.
Thomas
John,
says,
is this what you do when you're waiting for Joe Linton and you scored?
Oh my God!
Took it in between your legs and go, come on, baby.
Oh God! John couldn't do that because if he wrapped it around the back of his legs, it'll be tickling the back of his head, man.
It'll be like an anaconda going around his thigh.
God almighty, it'd be like he's getting squashed by a python. Thomas wants to know what you keep looking at, John. I tell you what, he gets easily distracted. You know, somebody's obviously the other side of the camera, helicoptering or something like that. It's just putting him off. Paul says, can PD sort his lighting out next week so he doesn't look like Veruca Salt from Willy Wonka turning into a blueberry?
Oh, it's these lights in front of us that are so bright.
Oh, that got me. That got me.
Oh,
Veruca Salt. Gosh. Julie says, I'll drive him. Ryan says, I'm going to a water park tomorrow, so I won't have to come on tomorrow and be depressed and talk about NUFC. That's shocking, Ryan. Hang your head in shame. Judy says, I'm more concerned Paul is in a dressing room. Pete and Bazza have shirts on in the background. Seems to be a lot of hanging around where men undress. Jeez, Judy. John says, John, you look like Mo Diame. Actually, I can see the similarity there. Heard Shelby's in full training in his back garden, but oh God, what's this?
It's all got rolled out by the Oompa Loompas. Brilliant. Heard Shelby's in full training in his back garden, but still walking with a Zimmer frame. Doesn't look too good. John,
Kev says think we will just stay up, be a bit close like last season, but it'll be squeaky ass time. Good to be back, lads. No hard feelings, Bazza, but you ended on a good note. John's shining his bell end under the desk for later. Oh Jesus Christ. Honest to God. Is
that why his arm keeps going like that?
Oh, for sake.
Oh, man.
Dear God. Tom says, brilliant show tonight, lads. Right, yeah, we'll come to the end of the Four Horsemen. Just make sure next week, if you guys want to put in your predictions as well for the Premier League, but I mean, obviously don't type out 20 teams in the comments because we'll be here all night. But if you just put who you think's going to win the league, maybe get into Europe and who the relegated teams are going to be, that'll be fine. But we'll go through 1 to 20 on the show. We'll not tell each other who've put where, because that'll be interesting to see on the show where we each think teams are going to finish. So it'll be very, very interesting. Don't forget tomorrow night, live on this channel, 7:30, Newcastle United Fan Forum. It was a fantastic show last week. Loads of people on. Well over 130 watching, I think, at one stage last week, which was really, really good. So it was quite awesome. So get yourself on. The link to come on the show will be in the live comments as usual. So all book you, get in that waiting room and get on the show as early as possible. Pete, anything coming up?
Match day vlog for Saturday.
There you go.
I can't wait to bring those back again.
The only thing, when I did my vlog on Friday, right, I got back to the car and did it. When you upload it to YouTube on a mobile phone, it's a pain in the ass because you can't monetize it. You can't bloody put a thumbnail on it. It's a pain in the ass. If anyone knows how to get around that, let me know. But I was thinking about taking me on away games, take my laptop down, doing it all in the car when I come back, using my phone as a Wi-Fi. So we'll see. Anything on yours, Baz?
I've got Channel 69 News to load up tomorrow. And I've got
the weather?
The weather is hot, always.
Is the way, John, Baz? You really need to get it to do that weather in extreme heat circumstances to the point where, she does the weather and we can see how hot it is, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I am gonna try and start. That mental health thing I did for 2 hours, like opened it up for everyone. I've got a new idea with that coming up in the future with 2 other people, so I'm really looking forward to doing that. So.
Cool. Good stuff.
That'll be announced in the next couple of weeks.
Nice one. John, I always give you the last 10 minutes to go through your live streams.
I've got a new show on a Wednesday now between 7:30 and 9 o'clock. Doing video calls.
Sorry?
Like a fan call sort of thing. So
fan forum. Strange that, isn't it?
No, not your fan forum. No, but like a video call, like so fans can have this here.
So so what you say is you get fans on to talk to you.
Yeah. So if they want to come on, have this here about Newcastle the coming season, they can come on and talk to us. I've got Donald's coming on, Jason's coming on, Billy's coming on as well. Billy, it's where who else? So those will come on, have this here, have a chat for 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Does anybody think it's like a does that sound familiar to anybody?
No, it's a video. It's a video. Not fans form, but mine's quite different. It's a video call. Like a fans phone in, but it's actually a video phone.
Like a fans phone in on a video, John. So basically, you get them on your show and talk about Newcastle United, yeah.
Yeah, or do you want to talk about anything else, sort of thing about their team?
Sounds very familiar. That does, John. It really does, mate.
No, yours, Paul. You know that.
I'm only having you on, man, John. Give away. Yeah,
and also your chance. Also going to do
it's a big one, boys. I've got a big one.
And also, so I'm going to do I was going to do my prediction for the Premier League as well before Monday, but obviously we got there first, so I'm going to do it with you guys on Monday.
Right.
So, other than that, I've got nothing planned at the minute, but I'll be thinking.
Just kicking.
John, seriously, you need to know when I'm winding you up, mate. You just but when you kept saying it's like a phone in, but it's by video, and it's like, hang on a minute, is that not what the whole channel is?
Video call.
John, that's what they all are. They're all videos.
Oh man.
Oh my God! Anyway, last comments before we end. Joe Linton said to John, "Can you not kiss me there, please?" John said, "But I thought you liked it when I kissed you on the willy." No, during the post-match interview. Judy, why have you come on so bloody late, man? Billy says, "So John's head isn't the only thing that he gives a good polish." Thomas is brilliant show. Archer, it's so frustrating that only 4 weeks until the window shuts and no signings. As a fan, it's pissing me off. The Geordies, Bruce will be coughing up his pubes every match day. Cheers, Julie. And Gary says, how do men exercise on the beach? By sucking in their stomach every time they see a bikini.
Oh God almighty.
I think I've seen that one where the big fat man pulls it in and then he can't hold it any longer.
The table goes flying.
It just flies out. Right. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. It's been a blast, as usual. Don't forget to catch me tomorrow for the Fan Forum Live, or as John likes to put it, video calling.
Do
tune in to everyone else's channels and programs, guys. It's been a blast. But as usual, we will see you next Monday when we will do our Premier League predictions and talk about the Norwich game. But this has been the Four Horsemen of the Toon. We will see you next Monday. Take care, guys.
Be strong. Strong.